Obviously, very happy that we were able to come away with the win. There's some things that we would like to clean up and have done better, but I can appreciate the fight in our team and the fact that they didn't give up as soon as the game started and we got down 8-0. I know that Jill has broken a blocks record. I know that Tineya always finds a way to allow us to compete, especially in second halves. Reagan Jackson being back in Texas is always a good time for her. She plays really well down here. And we just played a very scrappy team, and I think both of us wanted to win really badly. And we were fortunate to come away with the win.
And I just want to talk about the fight after the first quarter, especially with that timeout after the 8-0 run. What did you say to your team after that?
I was actually rather calm because there was a lot of basketball left. But just that we needed to relax. It's a game of runs. We had given up some points to Shavers that we knew we shouldn't. We knew she could make threes, and we should have been there on a catch. So sometimes when you start the game and you're just not locked in the way that you need to be, the worst thing you can do to a team is yell at them, right? They already feel bad enough that we didn't get off to a good start. So now, I can't speak for later on in the game. I was a little worked up about some things later, but initially, and I think they were composed. And Tineya always has a lot to do with that, the leadership that she brings. She brings this calmness and this stillness to our space. So kudos to her and the team for their response to that.
Talk about some of the clutch shots you had in the fourth quarter that really kind of pushed the tide in y'all's way.
I would just say letting the game come to me. It wasn't dropping in the beginning. Coach Katrina had to tell me, get it together. So I had to tell myself, just let it come to me, and that's what happened.
So you talking about that one shot you had at the end of the fourth quarter, which just putting it up there. Was it more of like right time, right opportunity, or is it like, hey, I got to take the game into my hands and I got to score here and do something with it?
Both. I would say both for sure. Both for sure.
And going back to that moment, what was going through your head when you were putting that ball up?
Like I said in the beginning, letting it come to me, having faith in my shot, and it went in. So.
And Coach, after 7-point first quarter, 13 lead changes, and most of those changes coming at the end of some quarters, what were kind of the adjustments and your message to the team?
I think it was just to relax. What Texas Tech has done much better than a year ago because they're so much healthier is putting pressure on the ball. And we just come off of this game where we've turned the ball over at a season high. And again, the last thing we needed to do was to give away easy baskets by turning the ball over. So getting some ball reversals, and there in that fourth quarter, it got a little tough. I thought we shot the ball way too early a couple of times where we should have been using the clock. But you don't want to take the aggressiveness away from your team either. So you kind of live and die with some of those decisions. And like I said, we were just really fortunate that the time ran out because I'm sure that Texas Tech had some more in them. So, I just would like for us to continue to grow in that space. But the adjustment for us was just to stay locked in and follow the game plan.
Just staying locked in the fourth quarter especially, it just being very tight. What kind of adjustments did you kind of make just holding Tech's you held Tech's highest score to 3 points?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I look at players, and I think that they all have the same thing going on. So when Shavers is making threes, she's going to shoot threes. And sometimes she'll probably settle for a couple just because she's made a few. I thought that benefited us a little bit because she can also get downhill and drive it very well. I look at Maupin and I say, hey, that looks like the kind of day that our Ariel Jackson had. Sometimes they just don't have good games every single game. But it doesn't take away from who she is as a player. She's incredibly talented. And, if we played her again, I'm positive that she would show up and get her revenge in the same way that I would hope that Ariel Jackson would rather. So I think her teammates were playing well, and that had a lot to do with it.
And that shot by Tineya at the end, was that more of like something that you drew up, or was that something that she took into her own hands?
I draw up plenty of things. And then because Tineya is a fifth year and a point guard that I trust, she calls audibles from time to time. I think we'll just call that an audible.
Did you have any honest reaction when you call it an audible when she made the audible and then the shot actually went in? What was going through your mind?
I was really excited for her. I was really excited because I thought that there was some contact there too, and she may have even gotten fouled. And so I think that moment, that energy, I always refer to Tineya as our engine. And your car doesn't run if your engine's not there. And that's her and who she is for us. And I think that play, that bucket in particular, if you watch our team and our coaching staff too, because I was excited, I was hyped up too. I think that those are the type of plays that she's capable of that fuel us in moments where maybe we are a little run down and maybe our heads are down because we're not playing great, and that's just what she does for our team.
I have one question. You had 9 available players tonight. How did you see players like Brianna Byers and Delaney Snyder kind of step up in the absence of some players that weren't available?
It was a huge night for them, a huge night, because when Delaney is out there, and despite her being a sophomore who has played limited minutes, she makes some really big plays for us. And her presence, just with her size and her height, it matters. She alters shots. She obviously get some rebounds as well, and she even made a couple baskets for us, and I know she was excited about being able to contribute in that way, especially without Chloe being in the game. And Bree, her 11 rebounds, she had 8 at halftime. When we were really struggling to rebound the ball, she came in and gave us a lot of energy. And last but not least, it may not manifest itself in points, but Daily Dunn coming in and playing 20 minutes after being in a limited role all season long just proves to me how much this team is going to continue to fight for each other, and it's always going to be next woman up. All right. Oh, got one. Good. All right. Thank y'all.